Welcome back everyone. It is time for our topic lesson. So we have been learning all about lots of really fantastic women. We learned about Amelia Earhart, the pilot. We learned about Marie Curie, the famous scientist. Then of course we learned about Florence Nightingale, the lady with the lamp, and we made our own lamps. And then we learned all about Daphne du Maurier, the very famous and wonderful author. Today we are going to learn about our next famous woman, and this woman is famous because she was the very first woman to go into space. So she was the first woman to go into space. The first man to go into space was a Russian man called Yuri Gagarin. So today we're going to learn about the very first woman who went into space, and her name is Valentina Tereshkova. So make sure you're sitting comfortably, and I'm going to read a little bit more information to you about this fantastic woman called Valentina Tereshkova. Who is Valentina? Valentina Tereshkova is a famous Russian cosmonaut. Cosmonaut is the Russian word for astronaut. She is best known for being the first woman to fly in space. Valentina was born on the 6th of March in 1937 in the country that is now called Russia, but back then it was called the USSR. Her family was so poor they couldn't even afford bread. Valentina left school at just 16 years old and worked in a factory, but she dreamed of doing something more exciting. Valentina joined a skydiving club as a hobby and soon learned that she had a real knack for it. Wow, so skydiving, that's very scary, I would think, but not for Valentina Tereshkova. She was very brave. The space race. The USSR, which we call Russia, wanted to be the first country to send a woman into space. They were in a race against the United States. Valentina applied to be in a space program and was chosen because she was really good at skydiving. 5 women were picked to train to be cosmonauts, but only one of them would be sent into space. Valentina worked hard to win a place, and training was tough. They had to do many tests in zero gravity and spend lots of time on their own. The women had to keep their training a secret, even from their families. Of the 5 women, Valentina was chosen as the best and was the only woman to go into space. Valentina's flight. On the 16th of June 1963, Valentina flew alone in space on a shuttle called Vostok. She went around the Earth 48 times, setting a new world record. She took important photographs in space that helped scientists back on Earth. She had a tough journey back to Earth that nearly ended in disaster. The ship's programming went wrong and the ship nearly crashed. Luckily, clever Valentina was able to fix the problem and survived with just a few bruises on her face. Phew, that really was lucky. After her flight, Valentina became an engineer and then a doctor. She now works for world peace. So did you know that Valentina has a crater on the moon named after her? Wow. Valentina's first husband was a cosmonaut too, making them the first married couple to have both been to space. Wow. So Valentina really was is a very fantastic and interesting woman, especially because she's the first woman to go to space. She was so brave with all of her skydiving, and she wanted so much in her life, so she decided to train to become an astronaut or a cosmonaut, and she was the first woman to go into space. So I think she's definitely fantastic enough to write about for our Fantastic Women books. So I think this will be page number 5. We've done Amelia Earhart, Marie Curie, Florence Nightingale, Daphne du Maurier, and yes, our 5th fantastic woman is Valentina Tereshkova. So on your in your books, on your paper, you can write page number 5 at the bottom, and we're going to write all about this fantastic woman, Valentina Tereshkova. So that will be our title, and I think for my sentence I will write, she was the first woman in space. So 7 words. She was the first woman in space. Okay, let's have a little look here. So we know that she is one of our tricky words, and it's the start of our writing, the start of the sentence. So I'm going to do it in a capital letter. So she. Okay. And then a finger space, was. We know that's one of our tricky words. Was. The. Another one of our tricky words. I'm remembering my finger spaces. She was the first. Must start with a first. And I have some words in my word bank at the bottom here. So let's have a look if I can find it. First. Oh, this must say first. It starts with, so I can use that to help me in my writing. I'd also try and sound it out and write it myself as well. She was the first, and I'm going to write woman. Woman. What is the first sound in a woman? Ooh. Ooh. Woman. I can see in my word bank I have a woman written there, so I can use that to help me. She was the first woman. It's not enough space there. I'll start my new line. In space. Space. Oh, it's in my word bank here. Space. I did start it, and I'm thinking hard about the sounds I know. Space. Great. Let me double check my sentence. She was the first. That's a new word we've learned. Woman. Another new word we've learned. In space. Another new word. And I think I will do an exclamation mark because I think that is really exciting. And when people read my information book and read this page, I don't want them to read it as Valentina Tereshkova. She was the first woman in space. I want them to read it really excitedly. Valentina Tereshkova. She was the first woman in space. That's much better. And an exclamation mark can make our writing more interesting. So great. Right, girls, I'm really excited to read about your writing, all about this fantastic woman, Valentina Tereshkova, the first woman to go into space. So I will look forward to reading that. I'll let you get on with your writing, and I look forward to hearing and seeing it all tomorrow. I'll see you then. Goodbye.